Hey, what's up everyone? We're back a little early from the river today because numero uno here forgot to bring his helmet, and so a couple people from our crew ran a shorter run. Want to show you a little hack of the Yakima HD bars. Normally when we put two boats up here, it's not really an issue. The two boats keep each other from moving around. But when there's only one boat up there, it's pretty easy for it to start sliding around. If we're traveling longer distances, we usually flip the boats upside down so that you're not compressing the bottom, resulting in like some deformation or oil canning. But if you're just running shuttle, we'll often pop them up there this way. And regardless of which way you put them with these HD bars, and really with the Jetstream bars too, there's not a good contact surface to keep the boat from slipping. You can see that the boat's pretty deformed. It's definitely snug. And even when you do that, it's possible for it to move around quite a bit. And as soon as it starts moving, it creates slack. And then it can just be flying around up there. I have learned my lesson about always putting straps through a hard point, so that at least prevents the boat from coming completely off the vehicle. And you can check out my video showing the damage that happened from one that was not through a hard point, bounced off the hood. But it still allows your boat to slide around up top, which is not ideal. So what we're gonna look at today is a way to hopefully resolve that issue using a product from Thule on the Yakima bars. One other thing that I've done to try to help it is, instead of just looping around the bar like this, you can wrap the bar once. By doing that, the strap itself is kind of pinched onto the bar, and it makes it a little harder for the boat to move this way. But it's kind of annoying because then you always have to be wrapping it, and then you got to get your distance just right to make sure you've got a good spot for pulling down on the other side. The other thing that's annoying about having it wrapped around the back is that when you go to take your strap off, you can't pull it from either direction because you've got it bit around the side. So then you have to kind of like work it loose. We're going to take a look at the bars here. I've got the Yakima HD bar and the Yakima Jetstream bar. And as you can see here, the HD bar has a much wider rubber fill, where the Jetstream bar is quite narrow. And so the replacement that we're gonna do for this will not work with this one. You can only do this on the HD bar. When you put something up on here, if you put like a boat on here without a separate rack, you have like almost no contact whatsoever with the rubber stripping. We got the HD bar, and I was thinking, because this piece does bump up, that it would be good. But they still move around quite a bit. So what we're gonna do is, instead of this, we're gonna replace it with these strips right here. And these I got from Thule. These come off of their ProBar, but it's much more grippy rubber. I reached out to eTrailer to see if something they were selling was the right item, and it was not, but they were good enough to actually reach out to Thule and start carrying that product. And so I was able to purchase it from eTrailer. And it's super easy. You can just peel this out, and then we're just gonna install this one in its place. So this is the Yakima product right here. It's quite slick. And this is the Thule product. And it's, you know, hard to show on the camera, but this is much gummier. This is more like a true kind of rubber. And this is more like a rubberized plastic, or almost like a hard plastic. And we can basically just press that in. And then you can just trim the end off. There are some spots where I'm sure this would kind of work itself out, but where it's gotten folded under just a little bit. So you can always clean it up. It's actually pretty easy if you just slide something under there and then just push it along. You can kind of really tell the difference between this plasticky Yakima one from the rubbery Thule by listening to the sound. So this is Thule, and this is Yakima. And here's the two side by side. So in the front, we have the original Yakima, and in the back, we have the HD bar with the Thule strip added to it. And you can see they both fit quite well. They both bump up just a little bit. Another thing you can tell from the sound of these is if you tap on it. So Yakima plasticky, Thule rubbery. right, so there we are. Both of them switched over to the Thule, and now we'll go put them on the truck and do a little test run. And there's our obligatory count cameo. County cat. What are you doing? So we're back out here. We've got the Thule rubber put up there, and I can tell you that even just from putting the boat up top before we strapped it down, I could totally tell that it was different. I set it up there, and when I went to slide it towards me to kind of set it down onto its bottom, it would not slide. It's that much stickier. So we've got the straps on, we've got them locked down, basically like we did before, and now you can see when I push on this thing, it is not moving. Like, I could maybe move it. No, I'm shaking the truck and it's barely moving at all. So just completely different than what we saw before. I work for a company and we sell some Yakima and Thule stuff. The rep was in the other day and I showed him the difference between these two, and then I actually popped it out of our little demo pieces and could tell that they fit together, and just suggested that maybe they switch over to whatever Thule is buying, because for situations like this, if you are mounting something straight onto your crossbars, this is so much nicer in my opinion to not have things moving around up there. All right, so I hope that helped everybody out. As you can see, it's spitting a little bit of rain here in typical PNW style, so we're out for the day. See you next time. But just to show you exactly how sticky this is, boat is unstrapped and I'm going to take it off, and I cannot slide the boat towards me. It's actually like difficult to get it to come towards me, and you can see putting it back on, very similar. So a world of difference. This is a seriously nice upgrade. I recommend that you do this if you're mounting stuff directly on your bars. You will definitely not be disappointed. I think it was like $30 for a set of these strips from eTrailer.